I start the class here. Okay. So in the today's class, we are going to look at the your velocity measurement. Okay. Velocity measurement, and also partially we look at that your static, stagnation, and your dynamic pressure. So now, anytime have you seen that your Pittard static tube? An answer from you. Have you seen how your Pittard static tube and all? Excuse me. Yeah, Vignesh,
Yes,
please
sir.
tell me, Vignesh.
Yes, sir, I've seen.
Vignesh?
Yes, sir, I've seen.
Where do you see that, sir?
Sir, in 2019 Anoka, they demonstrated, they had kept it in the exhibition in the Aero students had kept it, sir.
Okay. Okay. Normally, if you look at that, okay, you have a L-like cross section, okay. Little weak in drawing, okay. It's in the board, it's very difficult for me. Okay, so what we call this one as already I have shown you, your in the class itself I have mentioned about that, okay. This is called as your Pittard static tube. So this is going to be your P naught, okay. So what do you mean by your stagnation pressure? Already we have defined that. If you decelerate the flow, isentropically to zero velocity, then the pressure at the point is called as a stagnation pressure. Okay, the pressure at the point is called as stagnation pressure. So normally, if you take diameter of this tube, let us take it as, okay, your the overall diameter of the tube, let us take it as a D. So what we call this as a your horizontal stem, and this one what we call it as a vertical stem. So if you look at that length of your horizontal stem, it's going to be your 16D, and the vertical stem also you are close to your 16D. And also if you look at that, okay, your this hole, what we call it as a static hole. So the distance of the static hole is going to be something close to your 8D. This also further, okay, 8D. So the purpose of having this one, okay, 16D, 16D, one is going to produce a longitudinal oscillation, other is going to produce a transverse oscillation. One stem is going to produce a transverse, another is going to produce a longitudinal acceleration, vibrations, okay. So they are going to, okay, cancel each other. Whatever the your vibration produced by the your horizontal stem is going to be cancelled by the whatever the vibration produced by the your vertical string. That's why they are going to have a L shaped, and also each one is going to be 16D. Keep in mind that people will be asking about that wherever you go for an interview, they will be asking about that why you are going to keep this one. And also if you look at that, okay, in the static hole, what will happen? They are going to keep it 8 times the D. Why they are keeping it as a 8 times D? If you look at that edge of that one, okay, one thing is, okay, Petard's tube, they will be having a like a ogival body or a blunt body kind of thing. Another way is, okay, they will be having the cross section is going to be a conical one, okay, depending on that. So now if you look at that, okay, these areas basically here, these areas, okay, so what will happen? Your flow is subjected to acceleration. Flow is subjected to acceleration. So but we have to measure the real sense of your static pressure here. So that's why, okay, they will make sure that, okay, they are putting it at 8D. So there you can't see a flow acceleration. You are going to real sense, you are going to measure your static pressure over there. For that purpose only they are going to have a, okay, your this one. Any question on that? So using these, what we can do is, okay, once again I will draw the your probe again here, okay. Even if you use a cross section here, okay, if they are going to draw a cross section here, you can see that, okay, four holes will be there. Here one hole, okay, they will be having here one hole, here another hole, here another hole. 4 holes will be there at a static point. So this is going to measure your P naught, and this is going to measure your P, means static pressure, okay. So now, okay, if you couple this one to a pressure measurement system, okay, what are the pressure measurement systems are there? Okay, so what we can do is, okay, a U-tube manometer, you connect one end to your this is, sorry, so this is your P static, sorry sir, this is static pressure P, this is only P naught, and this one. So the difference in whatever the your U-tube manometer difference in height, so that one, okay, the difference between your P static and P atmospheric, okay, here I am going to put a P naught, here I am going to put a P static. So the difference, your P naught minus P is equal to half rho P square. That's your nothing but, okay, your dynamic pressure. Okay, so your P naught is stagnation. Your P is your static pressure. So now we can get the delta H value. From the delta H value, it's going to be related to half rho V square. It's going to be related to your rho. If it is manometric liquid is water, rho G delta H. Okay. So we can find out your V square as 2 rho W G delta H. Okay. Divided by your whatever the here, if it is your rho air, if it is okay, rho A. So V is equal to square root of 2 rho W G delta H divided by your rho A. So you can find out your velocity. Okay, you can, from the dynamic pressure you can find out your velocity also. Okay, and another way is, okay, you can take your U-tube manometer. One end you can open to atmosphere. Okay, other end, one end you open to your P atmosphere. Okay, so this is going to be your P naught. Okay, P naught minus P atmosphere is going to be rho G delta H. Okay, okay, your whatever the manometric liquid. So your P naught is equal to P atmospheric plus your rho G delta H. Same way, if you want to measure your P static, okay, accordingly you can measure your P static also. Same way, instead of P naught, you can put a P static, you can calculate your this one. So using a pitot static tube, okay, you can measure your dynamic pressure. From the dynamic pressure, you can calculate your velocity. You can find out your static pressure. You can find out your stagnation pressure. So same way, if you want only your stagnation, okay, you can okay, we'll be having a single probe, L-shaped probe. This is a one. Okay, this is your stagnation P naught you can measure, or sometimes, okay, you can have a only this one. Okay, this hole is closed. You are going to measure only your this point. Okay. You can measure your static, P static. P. Okay. Sometimes if you want to measure within the boundary layer, okay, what we used to do is, okay, we'll be having a yeah, 1 mm, around 1 mm tube they will be taking it as, okay. So they will have a 20 mm, these 20 mm like that, okay. They will connect it in a thicker tube. So why they are going for a 1 mm tube, okay, we need to measure less than 1 mm, okay, approximately 1 mm tube, because they want to measure the thickness of the boundary layer. Sometimes the thickness of the boundary layer is going to be very, very smaller. So automatically, if you want to measure, you need to go for a 1 mm or less than 1 mm tube. Okay, that's the purpose. Okay, you can get your total pressure over there for the particular x location with varying y. Okay, you can get a P naught, and P static is going to be assumed equivalent to your atmospheric pressure. Equivalent to atmospheric pressure or pressure at the undisturbed stream, static pressure at the undisturbed stream. Using that, you can estimate your velocity profile for your boundary layer. Any questions, sir? Any question? Okay, in the case of your if you want to incorporate your compressibility effect in your this one, we know that your um, P naught 1 by P1 is equal to 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m infinity square whole to the power your gamma by gamma minus 1. Using this also you can calculate your this one. What will be that? Can you tell me any one of that? P naught 1 by P1 whole to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma is equal to minus 1 into 2 by gamma minus 1 is equal to m infinity square. Is it right? So your m infinity is going to be your P naught 1 by P1 whole to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma minus 1 into 2 by gamma minus 1 whole to the power 1 by 2. Using these also you can find out your free stream Mach number, this equation, your isentropic relation. Okay, now I want to give a yes sir.
Sir, this you said about this compressible flow. So what static tube without tube will measure will be P naught 2, no sir, because it will be normal shock formation.
Yeah, I'll come to that now, sir. See, for
Okay.
example, if I have a supersonic flow, I want to measure the it's greater than 1. So now if I am going to bring a stagnation pressure port pitot tube into your supersonic flow, so what will happen? You are going to have a Mach number greater than 1, so automatically it has suck. So because for a case of your theta is going to be greater than theta max, whatever your the curvature you are going to set it over there. So this case so now you take a situation here 1, here you take a situation 2, here you can take a situation 3, here you take a infinity. Can you draw the infinity to 1, 2, 3 as a TS diagram? Any one of you? Infinity 1, 2, 3. Assume your sock is delta sock. How your TS diagram?
Sir, infinity to 1 it is isentropic.
Sorry. Infinity to? Yeah, can you draw the TS diagram and tell me that? You have to look at the temperature also, static temperature. Have you got it?
Sir, will it be like a parabolic variation?
Where is the parabolic variation? Any one of you? So let us
Sir,
take
across
a
the normal
situation as infinity. Whether your entropy is going to be constant, your
Yes, sir.
temperature
Yes, sir.
between infinity
Infinity
to
to
1,
Yes.
it will be constant.
temperature also going to be constant, entropy also going to be constant, no change in entropy.
Yes, sir.
So but 1 to 2 you go for that. Okay,
Temperature will increase, sir.
Yes, sir.
temperature will increase, temperature also going to increase, entropy also going to increase. That's all. Let us take this as a point 1. We are going to have a 1 2 2. That's all. 2 to 3 and all, there is no increase in temperature, because maybe depends on the rarefaction waves and other things. Okay, effect will be there, but mostly we assume that okay, simple cases. Okay, this is going to be there. So now, okay, you have the. I want to find out the what is the your P naught here. So for that purpose only, your Rayleigh-Petard formula is going to be there. It's basically a chain rule. Okay, a simple chain rule. Okay, here they had given it as a is for a particular Mach number. These are the two relations we have studied for that one. So for example, if you are having your flow is going to have a m infinity greater than 1, okay, assume that okay, your detached shock is going to form while putting your total tube, so total probe. Okay, so automatically what will happen here? 1, here 2. Okay, so this is your stagnation pressure, ratio of the stagnation pressure. This is your okay isentropic relation for this one. If you are going to multiply these two, okay, multiply equation 1 and 2, you are going to get an equation P1 by P02. So what we call, okay, upon multiplication of above and simplification, okay, that's going to result in this equation. Okay, so what we call this equation is Rayleigh-Petard formula. You know the P1, okay, you know the P02 from the probe, and you can find out your Mach number. But solution solving will be a really okay Rayleigh supersonic Petard formula. What we call it as Rayleigh supersonic Petard formula. So P1 is known, and your P02 is known from your probe reading. From the probe reading. Okay, now you can, by solving the equation, you can find out your M1. Any question? Okay, So this is called as your Bernoulli's incompressible. So already we have seen that incompressible form equation Bernoulli's. This is going to be Bernoulli's compressible form. Compressible Bernoulli's equation. So we have written a special form of energy equation. From that we can develop this one. Okay. Now we know that okay, your dynamic pressure is equal to your dynamic pressure. We can write it as Q is equal to half rho V square. So this V square I can write it as half rho M square A square. Okay. Further I can write it as this one. So 1 by 2 P by RT and MA square. This is M square. A square I can write it as okay. Gamma RT. So RT cancels out. So we can write it as gamma P M square by 2. Your dynamic pressure Qs. Okay. So now we have that okay, your Q is equal to gamma P M square. We can write your from this one we can rearrange this. Okay, we can write it as your P is equal to okay 2Q divided by okay gamma M square. Gamma M square. We can write like that. So now we are going to see that okay. Already we have seen that your P naught by P is equal to 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 M infinity square. So okay. So here further we can write it as your P naught is equal to okay. P naught is equal to P into 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 M infinity square. Oh, sorry. Gamma by gamma minus 1. So now we are going to write that okay as a subtract both side with P naught minus P is equal to P into 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 M infinity square minus 1 into whole to the power gamma by gamma minus 1. Sorry. Gamma by gamma minus 1 minus 1. It is a case. So now we can rearrange this equation as a your P naught minus P okay as this way. So P naught minus P is equal to P, we can write it as 2Q by gamma M square. We can keep it as such. Okay. Then further, okay, for a air, we can take it as gamma is equal to 7 by 5. Okay. For a air, okay, your gamma is equal to for air, gamma is equal to 7 by 5. Okay. If you substitute that, okay, we can get P naught minus P is equal to 7 by 2. further simplification, we can write it as, okay, so using your binomial expansion, okay, we can simplify this part of it, okay, as this one. So now you see this equation, if your m is equal to 0, close to your 0 or 0.3, what will happen? Your equation is changing to P naught minus P is equal to Q. That is going to be nothing but your incompressible form of Bernoulli's equation. Incompressible form of Bernoulli's equation, because when the m is close to 0.3, okay, the m and all, okay, the value is going to be very much smaller, so we are going to ignore these things, okay. So here we are going to do another one more thing, okay. We are going to write it as P naught minus P by Q is equal to, we are going to write K, your K is equal to nothing but 1 plus m square by 4, your m to the power 4 by 40, like that we are going to write that. So what we call it as, this one as a correction coefficient. What we call this one as a your correction coefficient. Even you can write other way also. Your Q is equal to correction coefficient for dynamic pressure in incompressible flow. Even you can write this way also. Correction coefficient for dynamic pressure in incompressible, sorry, compressible, incompressible. So now, okay, any question on that? Can you solve this problem? Calculate the dynamic pressure of a flow with a velocity v infinity is equal to 200 meter per second and P as a 1 atmosphere, T as a 300 Kelvin. What will be the percentage of the error if the flow is treated as incompressible flow? Can you do that? Can you do that? Do you want me to do, or can you do that?
Yes, sir, we'll do it, sir.
Okay. Find out the Mach number, find out the Q, from that find out K, and substitute it in the your Q infinity relation. Your Mach number is nothing but, okay, V infinity by A infinity So V infinity divided by square root of gamma r T infinity. I told you what is the gamma value. Here you treat it as fluid as a air. Okay. What is the gamma value? What is the R value? You have to keep in mind. So if you know the M infinity, you can find out your K 1 plus M infinity square divided by 4 plus M infinity to the power by 40. Using that, find out your K value. And now you know your P naught minus P, you know P naught minus P infinity. So your P naught is equal to P into 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 M infinity square whole to the power gamma by gamma minus. Using these, you can find out your P naught. This is nothing but your P infinity. So you got the P naught value, you know the P infinity, substitute everything, get the value of Q first. So you can find out your Q is equal to, for a P naught you can get it from this relation. You know that P infinity divided by K, already calculated. This is for the compressible form. For the incompressible, okay, your K is equal to 1. So your Q is equal to, this is Q compressible and Q incompressible is equal to P naught minus P infinity. So Q compressible, this is a error formula.